Perek Cheskas Habatim, Daf Chav Ches, sponsored the Refuah Shlema for Rachaleah Bas Fega Ruchama. We begin with the Mishnah. Subject of this parak is establishing a chazaka, ownership on property. First Mishnah discusses required occupancy for different properties. Number one, properties used on a day-to-day basis require occupancy for a full 3 years. This includes properties such as houses, pits, dovecots, bathhouses, housing for an olive press, irrigated fields, slaves, or a field that produces produce throughout the year. Number two, properties used seasonally, such as rain-watered fields, do not require the squatter's presence on a day-to-day basis. How much is required is a machlokes. Rabbi Shmuel requires a minimum of 18 months. 3 months at the end of the first year, the whole second year, and 3 months at the beginning of the third. The Chachamim assume the owner would not tolerate him for 3 years without a protest. However, this is true only regarding a grain field that is harvested once a year, but an orchard of fruit trees harvested at different times during a single year suffices for a chazaka. Rabbi Akiva holds 14 months suffices for a chazaka. Any minimal crop at the end of the first year and at the beginning of the third year suffices. The Gemara discusses a source for establishing a chazaka in 3 years. Rabbi Yochanan said in the name of the Holchei Usha that the source is Shor Hamuad, a goring ox. The Gemara presents its pros and cons. The first premise, number one, just as 3 gorings define an ox as a muad, a violent animal that now the owner pays fully for its damage, so too a non-contested 3-year occupancy of a property transfers its ownership to the buyer. The Gemara's challenge: the squatter should not require a claim of purchase. Occupying uncontested for 3 years demonstrates the original owner abandoned his property. The Gemara's rejection: the 3-year chazaka does not transfer the property to the occupant, it only lends support to his claim. The second premise: just as a victim's witnesses have to testify in the presence of the ox owner, the owner of the property must protest in the presence of the occupant. The Gemara's challenge: the law is even a protest not in the occupant's presence, demands he prove title to the property. The Gemara's rejection: the verse states for huad bivalav, meaning the testimony that transforms the animal into a muad must be in the presence of its owner. He needs to counterclaim with his witnesses to prevent full liability. An occupant only needs to know about the protest to hold on to his document as proof of ownership. Chavruch islay. He will find out from his friends. Premise 3. According to Rabbi Meir, just as an ox can become a muad by goring 3 times in 1 day, a squatter should be able to establish squatter's rights in 1 day as well. The Gemara's rejection: Rabbi Meir defines goring 3 animals present, one after the other, as one extended act. The ox is a muad only when they appear at 3 different times during the day. 3 figs that ripen at different times of day are on the tree at the same time. Even fruits of a caper bush that ripen individually over 3 days are unlike figs. When one ripens, the others are extremely small and insignificant. They are still considered to be on the bush at the same time. The Gemara concludes by stating there is a plant that one can establish a chazaka in 3 months. According to Rabbi Shmuel, asfasta, used as animal fodder and is fully grown in a month, the occupant can repeat planting 3 times and establish a chazaka. Although it is possible to cut it 3 times in 1 month, such an action is deemed a desperate attempt to establish a chazaka. If you're enjoying Daf 5, please click on the link below and subscribe, become a sponsor. Thank you.